I welcome you guys back into my next video, but today we're going to talk about the nice beautiful range of business class and also skills and assets and columns in terms of life, where we can go and understand, have experience to exceed customer expectations so that customers can also make sure to understand a better value in us. I understand that what's amazing about life is understanding that if you have a customer who wants a problem solved in terms of your life approach, let's say a customer comes up to you and they want a resolving of a conflict and they want to resolve a problem with your company. I mean, you have to understand that what's amazing every single day is focusing on delivering information to the highest possible intent with that customer to resolve being happier in the process. Approach now, if you understand that no matter what, then most customers where let's say they have no resolving of a conflict or no resolving of an issue with your company, actually what happens is they leave the company altogether and they never come to see you again, because otherwise you need to go and exceed the expectations for them to do so. Unfortunately, now, if you're Vodafone, for example, and I just recently was speaking to a customer service representative from Vodafone because of my internet, which was 5 weeks out due. I mean, in a sense, so what happens is I gave $50 and I never did get my internet. I mean, in a sense, so guess what? I mean, either way, I realized I get some phone calls. I tried going through all the procedures and all that. I probably had 6 hours of my life gone. I mean, I said, although guess what? I'm learning in the process something different. In the process of speaking with these people in a manner that I'm never angry at them. I'm never angry about what happens with their service. But I'm saying here to understand that I want the highest phone. I want them to give me the best phone in terms of Vodafone that they have for my services because I deserve it. I mean, 5 weeks of my life has gone through the bin because I want to make sure that you guys understand that for 5 weeks I didn't never have internet with your company when I gave you money. I mean, you guys have to resolve my problem by giving me a phone. Totally. I mean, make sure you give me a whole phone or something like that. I mean, give me a bonus. I mean, give me a special offer. I mean, they declined offer. I mean, they never want to give me a promotion. I mean, they never want to give me anything that I asked for. I mean, that's why we're going to make sure that in your business, that when a customer says, hey, in return for my service to be with your company, that if they ask you a question, you must say yes. I mean, that's it. I mean, you must say yes to them because that way we are going to focus upon understanding how to resolve the question and how to resolve their issue. I mean, in the sense of what you need to do is if they ask for a certain amount of money from you or a service from you and you are saying no to them, I mean, it's because you're a bad service. I mean, it's because you're a poor service. I mean, because you have to be able to say, yes, I will give you that. I will make sure that we go to the head manager or the head CEO of the company to get you what you want. I mean, if you're unable to do that as a customer service representative in your company, I mean, what kind of leadership skills do you have then? I mean, you have to understand that you have to be able to go and really contact the CEO of the company and really broaden the customer's favor right here. Because what happens to those people who also get a yes from the customer for life are the ones who keep a customer. I mean, now, since Vodafone never wants to give me a promotion, to give me a phone for my services and for the wrongdoings and for the right doings. I mean, there's no wrongdoings and right doings, but it's really that they are never solving my information process. I mean, in a sense, so what do? I make sure I resolve it on my own. I just remove Vodafone altogether. I remove the company from my life altogether because they're never serving me internet service. I give them money, but they're never resolving my queries. I mean, they're never resolving what I came to get from them. I mean, they're just scamming me $50. I mean, you understand? So what I do is I just move on. I mean, that's how I solve the problem. But I have no problem with them. I want them to give me a phone to be with their service though. Fortunately, if they never want to give me that phone and if they never want to promote me in their company or favor my sponsorship or anything like that, in terms of where I may ask your company, for example, to post me on the headlines of Vodafone, for example, for a couple of days or something like that, to advertise my YouTube channel or Instagram, and you guys never want to do that for me because of some internet service problem, I mean, guess what? I mean, that means you never want to solve my problem then. I mean, guess what? I have no problems. But it's more, you never want to solve my information process then. I mean, in a sense, so guess what? I mean, since you guys are giving me a bad service, I just move on and I never come back. I mean, that's how you lose a customer. I mean, I promise you, although, if you understand that no matter what, that if you never want to lose a customer, I mean, go and listen to the customer and their voice and say, what do you want? I mean, what do you want from Vodafone? I mean, what do you want from our company? I mean, the customer may say, hey, I want you to give me this and this and this. I mean, it must be a yes. I give it to you then. I mean, are you happy? I'm happier now. I'll always be now with your service. Roshi, that's done. I mean, understand? Because that's the service we need. I mean, what kind of service is that? Roshi, the service is right now with your company that if a customer gets a no from a customer service representative from your company, it's because you have a poor service. I mean, your company must say yes to everybody. I mean, if I ask you for something, I mean, you must be able to give it to me. I mean, whatever you ask me for, I'll give it to you. I never say no to you. I never say no to you. I mean, if you say no to me, I mean, it's because you're blocking me from some type of information in your life. I mean, if you ask me a question and I say, I never want to give an answer, I mean, that's me saying the truth of something that I've already given you an answer. I've already given the answer there. But if you say no to me, I understand then that you are lying to me. I mean, really, it's really that you are. I mean, you're holding some information from me. But if you say, no worries, I'll give you the information, I mean, that's a yes. But anything that's a no is a block in your life. So if you understand that customers must get a yes, you must say yes to the customer. Yes, I give it to you right away. I mean, no matter what, I mean, there's no limitations in your business. I mean, an information business is growing all the time. I mean, now, if you are Vodafone and Optus and Amaysim, and you want to be the strongest company out of all of them, I mean, then you have to go and provide the strongest service. I mean, what is the strongest service? I mean, the strongest service is the best information product. Now, what's the best information product? It's a product that is unbeatable. It's a product that gives you all the yeses. It's a product that listens to the people. Now, if the people want a certain service from you and you're saying no to them, they'll never be with your service ever again. I mean, you understand? But if people say, I want this kind of service in your company, I mean, and you say, yes, I will do that. Now you retain the customer and you also improve your service. I mean, understand? Because what happens is that if I come to your company, which is Vodafone, for example, and I say, hey, I want you to be able to give people free phones if your service is a poor service, I want you to go and give free phones to people as a present. And you say no to me, now it's because you're cheap. I mean, it's because you are a multi-billion-dollar company that falls below a phone. Understand? I mean, it's because your company cannot. It's because your company then can never even afford a phone to give me. I mean, Vodafone can never afford to give me a phone. I mean, Vodafone, a multi-billion-dollar company, and they can never afford to give me a phone for my services. I mean, why? I mean, you guys gave me a poor service. I want a phone in return. I want a phone. I want you to give me the best phone you have so that I can be with your company. I mean, why don't you want to give it to me? I mean, why don't you even want to return my money? I mean, why don't you want to return my $50 that I gave you? I mean, where's the conflict resolution over here? I mean, understand? I gave you money. I gave you $50 to get some internet. I mean, all you gave me is phone credit. I mean, what for? I mean, 5 weeks of my life without internet. I mean, you guys never care about that. I want a phone for my services. I want you guys to give me a phone. I want you guys to put an information service in your company today where if somebody is complaining or let's say has a problem with your service or has something to solve in your service and wants more information in your service, such as I or anybody who wants a nice, beautiful solution to your product and who wants to be able to improve your service and says, this is how you improve your service, but I want a phone in return. I understand? I am telling you right now, I want you to improve your service with a phone to give to customers who are unhappy with your service. I want you to give them a phone all the time. I mean, that's the information product. I want a phone right now because I gave you that information. I mean, and you never want to do that for me, but you're going to put a customer reference that this individual wants this. I mean, you're going to say this individual wants this, but are you going to give it to me though? I mean, maybe you're going to go and make the service, but never give me the phone in the first place. I mean, I gave you the information. I mean, that means what? I mean, that means you're scamming me, aren't you? I mean, that means I'm just doing it for free. But guess what? I mean, at least somebody else will get a phone from me. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you go and make that service, for sure, then millions of people will get that phone. But me, I'll just go get my own phone. I mean, I'll benefit regardless because I benefit the world. But you guys are just never going to give me a phone. But you're going to give millions of other people a phone, huh? I mean, if you're going to improve the service on me and you're going to start giving people phones, I mean, why aren't you giving me a phone? I did ask for it first. I was the first one to ask for a phone. I'm the one who gave you the service. I mean, why do you want to go now giving other people the phone, but me never? I mean, what for? I gave you the service of that. I gave you the nice, beautiful information product to tell you that if customers are unhappy in your service, to give them a phone. I mean, give them a free phone. I mean, go and make a free phone. I mean, go and manufacture one. I mean, it's $5 per piece, mate. I mean, do you understand? China? I mean, China makes all these phones, man. I mean, $5 per piece. And then guess what? I mean, they sell it for $1,000. I mean, you're saying that you can never give people a free phone? I mean, how much is a phone today? I mean, $5 in China. I mean, you can manufacture one for $5. I mean, you never do it for $5. I mean, you do it for yourself. I mean, if you want a business service today and you want to make your own phones, I mean, go call up China and put some money in it and advertise it everywhere. Put everything into it. And it's going to be your phone. I mean, you're going to go against iPhone and Samsung. But it's going to be your own phone. I mean, you're never really against anybody, but you're competing against people. I mean, do you understand? So either way, I mean, you have to call a manufacturer. I mean, you have to give them the details. I mean, you have to put in the codes. I mean, you have to call the coders. I mean, you have to put the updates into your phone. I mean, you have to put the setup. I mean, you have to put the layout. I mean, you have to understand to set it all up with the phone. I mean, what kind of screen do you want? I mean, what colors? I mean, what kind of design? I mean, you have to make it. I mean, that's what manufacturing is. But if you understand every single day that if you want customers to be happier with your business, I mean, make sure they understand how to talk. I mean, make sure you understand how to communicate. I mean, make sure you understand how to lead people every single day. But never say to the customer, no. I mean, never tell me no. I mean, tell me yes. I mean, tell me that you can do it. I never need people who are limiting. I never need you when you tell me no. I mean, if I ask you do you have $1 million for me? And you say no, I find somebody else, man. I mean, do you have multi-billions of dollars in your account now? I mean, if you say no, then it means you're somebody that I never need in my life. I mean, understand? I always have multi-millions of dollars in my account. I mean, how do I do that? I have all the information. I mean, if you ask me any question, I can solve it. I mean, as soon as I ask you any question, but you can never solve it, firstly, that means that I'm above you. I'm too smart for you. I mean, if I go and ask you all these questions and you're unable to solve these questions for me, I mean, it's because your smarts is limiting. I mean, it's because of your communication skills is a limiting type of thing. I mean, it's because you limit yourself. I'm so broad with my business ideas that I can solve any kind of problem in the planet right now. I have no limits to what I can do. I have no limits. But if I find a limit, I solve it. I mean, now, any type of limit you have is something you must solve. I mean, where is the limit in your life right now? I have no limits in my life. I remove the limits. I mean, guess what? I mean, for me to keep Vodafone SIM card now, I mean, guess what? I have a credit. I mean, I have phone credit with Vodafone right now, but there's no internet on it. I have 15 gigabytes. I gave money to gain 15 gigabytes. I still have 15 gigabytes 5 weeks later. I mean, do you understand me? I mean, they're never solving my problem. I mean, guess what? I have no problem anymore. I have no problem because I never want to keep Vodafone around anymore. I remove the problem. I remove Vodafone altogether. I have no more problems anymore. I realize if I keep Vodafone with me, I realize there's always a problem going on. I never want a problem. I remove them completely. I never want them as a client ever again. Because they may do it again and again and again. And they never want to give me money back. I mean, they never want to return my money, or else they never want to give me a profit. I mean, now, guess what? I mean, never try to return your money. I mean, try to get a return on profit. I mean, that's why I say, give me a new phone. I mean, give me something more than what I gave you. I mean, if I give you $50 and you never give me a service, I mean, then you give me $1,000. That's how it is. I mean, that's how it is. When you make me happier. Understand? Unfortunately, that's how it is. But if you give me just $50, I mean, you just waste my time. I mean, you just waste my time then. I mean, keep the $50 altogether then. I gave you $1 million, but you're giving it back to me after 10, 50,000, 50 million years. I mean, you're going to give me the $1 million back? I mean, you're going to give me $1 million back? I gave you $1 million. I mean, after a trillion years, you're going to give me $1 million back? I mean, look at the cheap company. I mean, cheap company, man. I mean, never be a cheap company. I mean, understand? I never want my money back. I want to make profits. I give you $50. I mean, if you never solve my problem, you give me $2,000, you solve it. You give me $2,000. I want to profit on my money. I never want money back. I never want a refund. You understand? I mean, if you have to call people to get a refund, it's because you're what? I mean, it's because you lack skills. You understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, if you really need the money, I mean, you call them. But really understand this. I mean, never try to get your money back. I mean, never try to get your money back. I recently have a nice, beautiful hotel I went to, and I gave $100 per deposit just to be able to put into myself in a room where I can sleep one night. And I gave them $160 because the room is $60, but they want $100 deposit. I mean, where'd you get the $100 deposit? I mean, why isn't it $1,000 deposit, mate? I mean, why isn't it $1 million deposit? I mean, why'd you get $100? I mean, you limit yourself to $100. I mean, so guess what? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding. I give them $100. I mean, guess what? I mean, they say, hey, we already roll it forward, mate. I mean, I said, I was poor. I was poor. I give you $100, I expect it back. I mean, guess what? I mean, now I never expect what I give you back. I never expect it back anymore. I mean, as soon as you give a deposit to somebody, I mean, just understand they're never going to give you back. They're never giving you a deposit for the key that you have. I mean, they're never going to give it to you back. I mean, if you ask the question, I mean, go. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you ask, you shall receive. I mean, is asking for the money to gain it, I mean, is it something worth it? I mean, yes. I mean, is it worth to ask a question? Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, now, is it worth to receive it? Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, is it worth it to get the money back? Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, it's never worth to get it back. I mean, guess what? I mean, is it worth to gain it, though? Unfortunately, it's worth to gain it. Unfortunately, now, every single day, if you gain the money, I mean, now you can, because you understand that you're going to use it much better. I mean, if you're trying to use it back, and you're trying to go back with it somewhere, I mean, never try to go back with money. I mean, never try to go back anywhere. I understand, although, that for example, the banks. I mean, guess what? I mean, you give a deposit, and after 14 days of their, let's say, validation, that they'll give you the money back. I mean, guess what? I mean, they'll never give you the money back. I mean, nobody gives you money back. You understand? I mean, they make you call them for the money. I mean, their policy says that they will give you the money after 14 days. I mean, they'll give you the money before 14 days. I mean, guess what? I mean, where are you, man? I mean, why aren't you giving me the money? I mean, it's been 14 days, man. I mean, you understand? I mean, what the bank does is the bank holds the money from you for as long as possible. I mean, they never care about you. I mean, you understand? I mean, they never care about how much you need the money. I mean, as long as you never call them, I mean, they keep the money from you. I mean, if you give them if you give them $10 million, and they say we'll return it in 14 days' time, they're going to return it within 14 days' time, but they never return it, do they? I mean, guess what? I mean, you have to start calling them. I mean, why aren't you giving me the money? I mean, you said in your policy that it's 14 days. I mean, guess what you do now? I mean, asking for more in return. I mean, saying, I mean, you guys owe me some more money now than what I gave you. I mean, you're wasting my time. I mean, I have to call you guys to get the money again? I mean, give me a profit. I mean, never call them in the first place. Now, if you do that, now you made your money. I mean, you made your money already. I mean, how do you even understand that? I mean, how do you even understand that? Because by the time you call them, I mean, that's 30 minutes of your life, mate. I mean, understand? I mean, it's 30 minutes of your life. I mean, how are you going to get that back? Understand? So what you do is never call them again. Let them have the money. Understand? I mean, it's much more blessing to give the money anyway. Understand? I mean, if somebody's keeping money from you, I mean, let them have it. Understand? I mean, that's their money. Understand? I mean, if somebody says in their policy or in their customer reference that this is a service and they never give you the service, I mean, never call them. I mean, never call them again, please. Because you have to understand that what's important is you can ask. I mean, guess what? I mean, your time difference though. I mean, the time difference is something that you have to give time to gain the money. I mean, now it's worth it if you understand that people in your life may waste your time, but just never waste your time in the process. I mean, what I'm saying is make sure you understand to call them and ask them to gain the money. I mean, understand, because when you do it, I mean, at least you get the money. But it's also understanding that you have to understand this, that if they never return the money, I mean, never call them again. I mean, understand? But guess what? I mean, who said that you need the money again? I mean, who said that you need the money though? I mean, you never need their money. I mean, you just need yourself. I mean, try to go without it. I mean, try to go without the money. I mean, try to live life without money. I mean, you understand? Because that's how you find richness. I mean, you find rich people live broke. I mean, understand? I mean, they live broke, but they're rich. I mean, it's never about giving more money. I mean, it's more about giving more money, but it's more about making sure they understand that it's never about wasting it. I mean, the rich people never waste money. I mean, Grant Cardone says, never lose money. I mean, he says, what's the number one rule? I mean, never lose money. I mean, what's the second rule? I mean, never lose money. I mean, what's the third rule? I mean, never lose money. I mean, never lose money. I mean, never lose your time. I mean, never lose the individual you are. I mean, never lose your health. I mean, never lose spirituality. I mean, never lose information. I mean, understand? I mean, never kill your brain cells, man. I mean, if you kill your brain cells and you get fried, if you're getting, let's say, too much into drugs today, I mean, understand? And you're frying your brain, I understand? I mean, guess what happens? I mean, it gets more stupid then. I mean, how? Because by the time you're doing drugs every single day, I mean, 24 hours is passing and passing and passing and passing and passing. I mean, that's the brain cells, mate. I mean, when you go wasting 5 years of your life, I mean, that's frying your brain. I mean, understand? I mean, frying your brain means wasting time. I mean, guess what? I mean, drugs is performance enhancing. I promise you now, guess what? I promise you, drugs is never performance enhancing. I understand? I mean, what drugs is, I mean, you have to understand that it enhances your ability in ways of physicality, but spiritually, no. I mean, guess what? I mean, drugs may help you in a way of physical attempts. I mean, let's say you drink caffeine, you're up, you're up, man. I mean, you're up. I mean, let's go now. I mean, understand? But you never need drugs to do that. I wake up now, within 5 minutes, I'm having a shower and I'm out the door. I mean, without caffeine. I mean, somebody else goes to have caffeine and they make coffee. I mean, it's already 20 minutes, man. I mean, 20 minutes is gone by the time you have coffee, man. I mean, what is enhancing about caffeine? I mean, makes you peak, man. I mean, it makes you peak, doesn't it? I mean, you have to see how natural you can be. But I wake up, I need no caffeine. I never have to get caffeine in my life. I understand? I mean, now, every single day I'm focusing on understanding that if you want to go and perform much greater with leadership skills and everything, I mean, never have limits. I mean, make sure you understand how to really read books. I mean, make sure you understand how to read from people. I mean, you have to read from people first if you want to become something great. I mean, without reading, I mean, how do you expect to understand Jesus Christ? I mean, how do you expect to understand anybody? I mean, you have to understand that you have to ask for what you want, but never waste your time. I mean, if they never resolve the conflict, I mean, if they never resolve the issue for you, I mean, guess what? I mean, you never call them again. I mean, then you resolve it yourself. I mean, guess what? I mean, ask others to resolve your problems. I mean, ask them. I mean, say, hey, I mean, you deserve to give me a profit here. I mean, if they say no, I mean, guess what? I mean, you'll make a profit regardless. I mean, so how do I make a profit from the bank and from Vodafone now? I mean, they're never giving my money back. I understand, but guess what? I never need the money back. I never need the money back. I need a profit from them. I need a profit from them. I have to learn from that situation now. I mean, if you want to learn from situations now, I expect to understand that I may call them and I may say, hey, I mean, you guys owe me money. I mean, you guys owe me a certain amount of services now. I mean, you owe me some money. I mean, you owe me a service. I mean, I expect you guys to give me a service. Russia, if they say no, I remove them. I remove them from my life. I go to another bank. I go to another service. I just never use their bank ever again. I remove the problem. I mean, that's it. I mean, you guys lost the customer. I mean, if you told me no, to receiving my profit, I have to receive a profit, man. I mean, if you guys expect for me to be with your bank or your Vodafone, and you guys expect for your customers to never have internet and to also be richer in the process, I mean, you're wishing, mate. I mean, if you expect people to be coming to Vodafone, to be giving Vodafone money, I mean, because I'm giving you guys a bad reputation right now with Vodafone, because here I am. I understand? I mean, you have to understand me. I never stand for Vodafone ever again. I mean, guess what? I'm famous too. I'm famous. And now it's a famous reputation I have that's giving you a bad reputation. I mean, that's how big this is. I mean, sorry, Danny, after 50 years, I mean, guess what? I never need your service anymore. I never need you guys at all. I've already given you the service. You understand? I already told you guys every single day that I focus upon understanding that I'm always lifting my communication. I understand? But what's amazing is focusing on understanding that if you want to give me a service, I mean, come and get me. I mean, this time, I ask for more money. I want 10 million bucks. I want 10 million bucks when you call me again. I mean, now, then I go into a video and I say, hey, Vodafone gave me $10 million. I mean, everybody go to Vodafone now. But if you never give me 10 million bucks, I mean, now, if you guys never hear me saying that Vodafone gave me 10 million bucks, I mean, guess what? I mean, they're a bad service provider. Russia, now that's it. Russia, that's a nice, beautiful way to make money, isn't it? Russia, now every single day, no matter what, for me, currently, Vodafone is always a bad service. Russia, that's how it is. And that's what a customer complaint can do. Russia, that's what customer complaint can do. But you guys never even gave me my 50 bucks back. I never want your $50 stupid company. I mean, your company is 50 bucks to me, man. I mean, Vodafone is below 50 bucks in my life. Understand? Because guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I mean, you stole money from me. I mean, you never gave me a service. I mean, now the bank of Commonwealth Bank. I mean, now guess what? With them, now I can just switch off service. I can just switch off service and go somewhere else because their stupid policy is a lie. I mean, 14 days and we return the money. I mean, they want you to call them to do that. I mean, yeah. I mean, is that how it works? I mean, guess what? I mean, first, they're saying that we want you to understand that we're going to return your money without you having to call. Understand? I mean, I never did sign up for that. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that if somebody never gives you a service, you remove them from your life. I go ANZ Bank. I go NAB Bank. I mean, they're all the same banks to me, man. I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on understanding to never even waste your time to call them back. But make sure you understand, no matter what, that if you have the money and you can afford it, I mean, never call them. I mean, never call them. I realize if they owe you some money, I mean, let them keep it if you can afford it. I mean, you look rich, but it's behind the scenes, man. I mean, they don't even give a fuck about your money that you gave them. I mean, you understand? I mean, if you give them $1 trillion, it happens behind the scenes, and all you have to do is just call them. I mean, you just have to call them. But I realize they tried to make you call them. Understand? I mean, and you can afford it. I mean, go and give them the money. I mean, it's the way it is. I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that richness means that you have to provide people a service of conversation and service of love and empathy and positivity to understand that is how you resolve everything. Because when I give you a service and I say, this is my service of information, and I want you guys to be able to do that for me. But you say no, unfortunately, then you lose the customer. Unfortunately, then you're never even listening to the customer, because if you ask me a question and it's a yes or no answer, and I say yes, I gave you the answer, but no means I never will give you the answer. I understand? So every single day, if you ask me for a phone and I say no, now guess what? You're going to go somewhere else. But if I say yes, now you're always going to come to me. That's why I'm saying say yes to customers. Say yes to customers, and the customer is always the better individual. Understand? The customer is always the better individual. Without the customer, you have no business. Now Vodafone has no business with me anymore. Unfortunately, now Commonwealth Bank, unfortunately, I have to call them to resolve it. Unfortunately, now, if you understand either way, that no matter what, I'm always much more rich than what I say. But if you understand that if somebody owes you money and you call them and they give it to you, they're resolving the issue. Understand? But if they never resolve an issue and you give them $1 trillion, but they never want to return it, they lose a customer for life. That's how it is. Understand? But never waste your time with people who never want to resolve your conflict. If you come up to me and I never resolve your problem, what kind of life coach do I become in life? I want to be able to resolve your information product, but any type of information that you want me to resolve is already in my videos. Guess what I say? Your question to your answer is in my videos. Go and check it out. It's in every single video. Your answer to any question you want is in every single one of my videos. Go and read. Never waste my time. Understand? Unfortunately, that's it. Unfortunately, now you want 5 minutes of my time? Unfortunately, do you have money for that? Do you have money to have my? Do you have money to have my time? Do you understand? I am somebody much more valuable than 5 minutes. Understand? So every single day, I'm focusing on understanding that if you price time, then you price yourself as well. But I understand that what's important is understand that if you're giving free time, you give it to yourself only. You give yourself the free time. Never go around people who just want to be around you. Just recently, some person was calling me, and out of nowhere, my phone just picks up. I'm like, who's this? Who's this? This is your friend from the past. Who? Whatever. Their name. How is your name? How? You have to understand either way that somebody just randomly calls me. You understand? Guess what? Never randomly call people. I need to expect a call from you to pick it up. Expect to only pick up phone calls from people you expect. If random people like somebody who starts talking on the phone with you, what do you want, man? Understand? I'm not racist. I'm never racist. But there are people who never even speak English. Or people who just speak in their countries and calling you. Guess what? Change your number completely so they never call you again. Because it's just random people who's calling you. Do you understand? Remove the random people from your life. Now, everybody needs some randomness in their life. Now, I understand every single day that if you're picking up phone calls from everybody, it means you have no time for yourself. Now, that individual who did call me, is very lucky. This individual is very lucky, and it's a he. He calls me, and I have earphones on, and suddenly some voice pops up. I'm like, what's this? Understand? And that's 5 minutes of my time gone. Understand? But that individual has shown me something that I'm learning from. I'm profiting from that person right now by removing the number that I have, so that they never call me. So how did they actually get my number? I went on Instagram and I put it on there, and they just randomly call me. So guess what? Learn from that lesson, and learn to never ever put your personal number and ID on Instagram for people to call you, but give them a number that they can message where they get some automatic responses. Set up some automatic responses on that phone number where they can never call you, but you can send out messages completely to those people. You can say, check out my YouTube channel. I have a new video. You can send them responses, but they can never ever talk to you. Understand? So you can set up one of those nice, beautiful services on your phone today, and then you can give that number where people can call you on that number or send you a message. And then what happens is they opt into your service, and then you just send them some nice, beautiful free gifts. I mean, you can do that. I understand, but what's amazing is never try to do anything other than making sure that you have more money for success. And now online, I never try to price my customers. I never try to price you online. I mean, do you see any prices online from me? Rosh, no. Rosh, I never try to price you anything online. But if I come to your area and you want to see me, I mean, you have to give me some money. I mean, what do you think this is? I understand, if I'm holding a big event of 50,000 people, I mean, do you expect to go for free? I mean, yeah. I mean, you have to expect to go for free, but I'm going to charge you. I mean, you're going to make that money somewhere else. I understand, so every single day, I'm giving you 700 hours of courses over here. I deserve at least 50 bucks from you. I deserve at least 50 bucks from you, man. I'm much more than 50 bucks though. I deserve some money from you altogether. I mean, how much can you give me? I deserve it. I deserve all that money from you because I'm giving you free service over here. So I'm giving you free service, but then when I go around the world, I expect to get some money from you. Rosh, that's it. I mean, if I have no YouTube videos and no service to give you, I mean, what makes you believe that I'll go around the world doing service then? I mean, if you give no free service, I mean, then you have no money. I mean, all the people from the past have no free service to give me. I mean, there's no free service there. I mean, straight away, give me some money. Because qualification, I mean, 3 years apprenticeship, I mean, big deal. I mean, plumbing, I never need plumbing in my life. I mean, an electrician, I never need an electrician. I never need an electrician. I mean, kitchen service, I never need a kitchen. I mean, tires, I never need tires, man. I mean, car service, I never need a car in my life. I have Uber. I mean, what kind of service in a 9 to 5 can you give me? I never need a 9 to 5 job in my life. I mean, in a sense, so what do I really need? I need more information products. I need more information from you though. I mean, any kind of idea that you can give me. I mean, any type of attention. I mean, do you have attention that you can give me? I mean, do you have maybe 5 million people that you can give me that I can come and give a public speaking talk to promote my name? Or actually, that's something I need. Or should you have maybe some money you can give me? I mean, maybe you have 10,000 bucks for 10 minutes of my time. I mean, you understand? I mean, you can come and get to meet me. In a sense, so no matter what, I mean, that's something I can do. I mean, you understand? But either way, what's amazing is I provide a free service for you in WhatsApp, and that's where you can go and contact me. And I'll reply to you, but on my free time. I understand every single day that it's your advantage to do so. I mean, never ever reply on their time. I mean, reply on your time. I mean, never ever do deadlines on their time. I mean, do it on your time. You understand? I mean, their time is no time. I mean, your time is full of time. I mean, guess what? I mean, a 9 to 5 job, I promise you, if you work for other people, I mean, your time is booked. I mean, they book you out. I mean, now you have no time for anybody. I mean, if you work for other people, I mean, it means that you have no time for yourself either. I mean, they tried to say overtime. I mean, $60 cash. I mean, you're willing to do it, man? I mean, $60. I mean, weekend, Saturday and Sunday, huh? I mean, extra 3 hours. You understand? I mean, they give you 90 bucks. I mean, they give you 180 for the weekend extra. I mean, that's 6 hours of live coaching videos. I mean, you see? I mean, what's much better? I mean, 6 hours of live coaching videos or $180? I mean, it's much better to do some 6 hours of nice, beautiful live coaching videos than $180. I understand? I want you to know every single day, no matter what, I mean, learn some nice, beautiful fashion skills in my video. I mean, in a sense, so no matter what, I'm giving you free service. But you're eventually going to have to do 700 hours of videos yourself. And you're going to eventually have to talk to yourself, like I am right now. I mean, you're going to have to eventually do some free services online too. But guess what? I understand some people have cafes and restaurants. I mean, other people are club promoters and they own a nightclub or something like that. I mean, that's open only 9 to 5. I mean, that's the service. I mean, their service is limiting. I mean, my service is open always. Every single day I'm uploading services online. I mean, every single day my business is always open. I mean, my business is 24/7. I mean, you can always find me on Instagram. I mean, you can always find me on social media. I'm always doing something around my business. I mean, understand? I'm always doing something around my business. I mean, I never close you from 9 to 5. I never close you people. I'm opening you people. I'm opening service to you people. I'm giving you service straight away. I mean, right now, my service of 700 hours of videos and more, and all my content I've ever done in my life is open to you right now. I mean, my stores are open online. I mean, for free service. I mean, free service online. I mean, people never value my free service though. I mean, big deal. I mean, go and give some money then. I mean, you never value my videos. I mean, you never value my free service. I mean, go and give some money to somebody who wants 10,000 from you, mate. I mean, go and give a life coach who wants $100,000 from you, man. I mean, since you never value for free, I mean, go give some money then to value something in your life. I mean, you just never ever will come to see me for free. I mean, you never come see me live for free. I mean, never. I mean, what do you think this is? Understand? I need to feed my kids too. I need to feed myself. I mean, do you believe I have 10,000 hours for you in life? I mean, if you give me some money, I may have some time for you. I mean, never 10,000 hours for you. I mean, no matter what you give me in your money, I never give you 10,000 hours of my time. When you give me $1 million, I may give you 10 minutes of my time. Understand? I may give you. I never said I will give you. I said I may give you 10 minutes of my time. Understand? I mean, depending on everything. Understand? So that's how I'm looking at life. Understand? I never just go around talking to people. I talk to myself only. I never have time for anybody except I. I mean, never let the 9-to-5 people and the jobs out there and any other job control you. I mean, let Jesus tell you how to live your life. Understand? I mean, show Jesus Christ that you love him. I mean, this is Jesus Christ's work. I mean, this is what Jesus Christ does. But I understand every single day I'm focusing on leading people into Jesus Christ. But guess who I follow on Instagram? I follow Jesus Christ. I mean, that's it. I mean, guess what my net worth is? I mean, Jesus Christ is my net worth. I understand? So I'm always rich. I'm all the money in the world. I understand? But every single day, focus on understanding that most people are very lost astray and they have no idea what to do about business and life. But if you follow me for the next 40 years, you're going to understand how to do so. I mean, you're going to understand what business is. I mean, you're going to understand how I learn business and how I do business. Watch now, I'm just 28 years of age. I mean, 3 years ago, I was 113 kilos. I mean, 3 years ago, I was 113 kilos. I mean, so every single day I'm focusing on understanding that it was 4 years ago. I mean, either way, I'm learning, I'm growing. I'm looking the best version of myself that I've ever learned in my life. I mean, so no matter what, I'm learning how to really talk. I'm learning how to pronunciate myself. But what you can do on YouTube Studio right now is a YouTube application, has a YouTube Studio application as well. And what you do on the YouTube application is you look at statistics and you go through it and you upload videos. And then thumbnails you upload through the YouTube Studio, and then it shows up once your YouTube video uploads into YouTube, it has a thumbnail on it right away. I mean, before I was uploading YouTube videos, and then I go into the YouTube Studio after the video went to YouTube, and then my YouTube channel is showing just a random face like this with no thumbnail. So what I do now is I go into my YouTube Studio application and I upload a thumbnail before my video uploads online, because when it gets into your face, you just see a photo of me right away, of a branding photo. And now I brand my photos like that. I make sure you understand that behind the scenes, I mean, if you go into a Mega Drive, you find all my videos, you find everything of my content for free, and you can download it into your phone. I mean, what I can do for you today is understand I provide you all this service of information daily, and then understand every single day I'm always uploading new quotes and new videos and new audios. And then you never have to watch my videos. I mean, you can go into a Mega Drive and download my audio products. I have every single audio of every single video downloadable in my Mega Drive, and just listen to the audios on the go. I mean, download 100 of them, and then guess what? I mean, you're free to go. I mean, you never need internet to listen to me. I mean, guess what? I mean, just get yourself some free Wi-Fi and download my nice, beautiful content for free, is what I mean. And then on the go, you never need internet to listen to me. Understand? So every single day, focus on listening to my audio products on YouTube Premium. So if you have some nice, beautiful, let's say, audio products in your life and some money, I mean, do some YouTube Premium and give them $20 a month to have no advertisements on my videos. I mean, YouTube may put some advertisements around here, and by the time you watch my videos, I mean, advertisement after advertisement after advertisement. So in order for you to get rid of that, I mean, give some money to YouTube Premium to have no advertisements in your videos, to never waste time. Understand? Because advertising, in terms of paid advertising, in terms of other people's advertisements on my video, where I may just show you some random stuff and keep repeating that. I mean, Uber Eats. I mean, I've seen that freaking commercial 10 times, man. Understand? I mean, they waste my time. Understand? But guess what? I mean, it's really I have to give the money, and then guess what? I'll never see it again. Understand? I mean, that's it. I mean, 5 minutes of watching that every single time. I mean, that's 50 minutes of my life. Understand? So yes, it's stupid, but I have to take responsibility here. So I give the money, and now I have YouTube Premium all the time. I never have to watch these YouTube videos anymore that have advertisements on them. Understand? Actually, it's that simple. So YouTube TV is a new TV. So I see some guy over there at the hostel over here at the Aussietel, and guess what's happening around here? I mean, I'm always making sure I'm always richer. I mean, you have to understand that I may be in a hostel now, but I'm experiencing something new. I promise you, in 10 years' time, I'm out at hotels. Understand? So no matter what you're saying, I promise you that every single day, I focus on delivering the truth. I promise you that's it. I promise you now, this is who I am. But look at my communicational style. I'll give a lot of nice, beautiful knowledge over here. I mean, by the time you even see this video, I've already leveled. I'm already leveling this place. I'm already going somewhere else. I mean, it's now I'm already at the heart of my career anyway. I mean, I'm making sure I'm always richer than who I am today. So I see some guy over there. I mean, he has a girlfriend, but he's watching the TV. I mean, if you have a girlfriend and or else if you have family members around you, I mean, never watch TV. I mean, never watch TV. I mean, what you do is either leave them altogether. I mean, I mean, either leave them altogether, or talk to them. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you talk to them, I mean, be sure to be working on your product. I mean, so what I can do around my family members in terms of my biological dad and mum and family members, I sit around them. I mean, let them watch TV, but I'd be writing something down. I'd be doing some business. I mean, did you really? I mean, that's amazing. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, I'm writing something down. I understand. I just have to go and do a 1 hour video. I'll come back. I guess I'll just go do a 1 hour video to do this one, and then this one I'll post it online. I mean, what did you guys talk about? I mean, yeah. I'm doing business. You know. I mean, do you understand? I have to make a phone call. I mean, yes. I mean, yes. I mean, bam. I mean, what did you guys talk about? I mean, are you good? I mean, where are you going? I mean, I have no worries. I start doing some music production. I have to go over there and do some music production. I mean, anytime you want to talk to me, I mean, come. Understand? So either way, I go over there. I mean, I sit with the family and I eat, and I write something. I'm always doing something to write down something. Understand? I mean, nobody's going to get in the way of my business. I mean, that's how I sit around family members. But I never go around family members and people to watch the TV, man. I mean, who is that guy, man? I mean, look at that. I have no time for that, man. I have no time to watch other people like that. I mean, that's a waste of my time. I mean, that's a waste of my time. But if I want to watch TV, I may go, oh wait, I'm writing something down in my journal. I would say, and I may look at the TV like this to see what's going on, but I just go, I mean, in a sense, so I'm writing as I watch the TV. I'm writing something. I have no time to just watch the TV, man. I mean, imagine watching TV for 50 years without writing anything down. I mean, you understand what I mean? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus on understanding that you have to go and prosper, and the best way to prosper is to write things down. I mean, what am I doing here? I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down into a video. I'm writing it down into my journal. I'm writing it down into a quote. I'm writing it down into Instagram. I'm posting something online. I'm uploading videos. I'm uploading content constantly into my Mega Drive, because my Mega Drive is an online storage, and that's my website. Understand? Because an online storage keeps my nice beautiful images and audios and videos and PDF files and everything I ever have on my life online, and I never have to worry about losing it. Understand? But if you have a laptop and you have a phone, I mean, if you lose your phone, I mean, all your content's gone as well. I mean, upload it online into an online storage, and you never have to worry. Understand? I mean, go get yourself some Mega Drive, please. I mean, every single day, no matter what, I focus upon understanding that now, since you understand how to handle much more customer complaints and customer resolving queries, I mean, guess what? I mean, make sure you understand that if you're a customer service representative or anybody in your field who wants to provide some information service today, I mean, be sure to say yes to them and then figure it out. I mean, be saying yes to people and never no. I mean, if somebody says to you that they want some money from you, I mean, say, hey, I need you to go and grab it from somebody else. I mean, guess what? I mean, you never did say no. I understand. I mean, just avoid the no. I mean, avoid saying no. I mean, guess what? I mean, avoid saying no. I mean, guess what? I mean, if you avoid saying no, I mean, it's more that you tell them in another way. I have something better to do than that. I have something better to do than that. I mean, you understand? But never be picking up people's random phone calls. I mean, you understand? So change your number altogether. I mean, get a new SIM card. I mean, understand? So now I never will be with Vodafone ever again because guess what? I mean, they're wasting my time. Understand? I understand every single day that I'm always making sure that no matter what, that I want to profit from it. So if I want to profit from it, I have to remove them from my life because otherwise it's a waste of time. Understand? When they're wasting my time in the first place. So I remove the people who waste my time and then I go somewhere new and then never again will waste my time. Actually, that's how I profit from that. I profit from that. So now I just stick to Amaysim or Optus. But I just go with Optus because they're bigger. I mean, they're better service. Understand? And right now they have a better service. I mean, that's how it is. So I go with the giant. Understand? I'll go with the people who have I'll go with the people who have the most information. I'll go with Jesus Christ the most. I mean, that individual has the most information to give me, but then that information is the word I. And then I just go to I now. Every single day. I mean, if you have a nice, beautiful problem with your life, I mean, guess what? I mean, remove the problem. I mean, understand? I mean, what is the problem? I mean, you are never the problem. I mean, there's no problem with you. I understand? I mean, there's some problem with something about you, maybe, but never about you. I understand? Although, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus upon understanding that whatever you have in terms of problems, you must remove those problems from your life to resolve it. Understand? That's it. And every single day, focus on understanding. You have to be giving people different lectures and different content every single day. You have to be understanding every single day to focus on different ways of communicating and different ways of doing everything online, and make sure every single day you're just focusing on something different with yourself. I mean, that's it. I mean, if you just understand how to speak in front of a crowd and do something in front of a crowd every single day to focus upon communicational skills with people, actually, that's the best tactic in the world to understand how to lead people and how to understand how to grow. Now, if you understand how to grow, it's the I that helps you grow. Now, if you come back to the I, then you can understand how to talk. The word I is everything in terms of communication. Now, if you want to talk to people at first, if you put your I first, the I will show you exactly how far away are they from you. I mean, you can say, I need you to help explain this for me. I want you to look at me. I want you to go and talk to her. I want you to talk to her. I want you to talk to him. I want you to understand either way that if you need to talk to them, it's because of what? I mean, are you trying to get some sex from them, or are you trying to get an information service from them? I mean, it's one of the two. I mean, in the sense, so be the one who wants to get some information from them is much better. I mean, that's more Jesus Christ. I mean, so if you understand that Jesus Christ understands already your story, because everything of information is the word I. But then what Jesus Christ says is go and stop them and talk to them to teach them something instead. I mean, teach them and say, hey, I mean, instead of walking like that, I mean, walk like this. I mean, give them your advice right away. I mean, now, if you're trying to get some information from them, I mean, be the one teaching the information that you're trying to get. I mean, that's what Jesus Christ is saying. Now, that's what I'm doing in this video. I mean, that's why I came to teach that information. Because now I've already done the applying of the information. I've done the applying because I've taught you it. So I just move on to another aspect to teach. And now other people are saying also that you must go and read a book and then teach it. I'm not sure that's the way it is. I mean, read Jesus Christ's information and teach it. Understand? That's it. Now you have to stand for something in your life, but the more you stand for, I mean, the more information you give. That's the whole point. And now I'm Serbian and Croatian and Australian, so I have a big reputation around these areas. So every single day I'm learning and understanding that I want to go and better myself all the time. So what I need to do is I need to stay away from gangsters and criminals and people who are the bikies and people who are this nature. And why? I just choose to. I choose to because why? I mean, why do I need a bikie in my life? I mean, what are they going to do with me? I mean, what are the drug addicts going to do with me? I mean, they're jealous already of me. I mean, they're jealous of me. I don't want to be around them. I mean, if you got some money to give me, I mean, if you have some money to give me, I mean, I come around very quickly. I come around. But I never ever go around to anybody who, let's say, is trying to kill me. Understand? I never go around them. Understand? I mean, what for? I have something better to do than being around people who want to kill me. Understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, that's how it is. I've always shown that every single day I focus on understanding that you can just come to me. I'm never afraid of you. I'm never afraid of you. I mean, if you want to find me, I mean, come and get me. Understand? First, that's how it is. I never want to come to you, though. I never want to come to you. I want to go to the word I only. I just go to the word I. Understand? So where I go is where I go. I mean, if you come to me, I teach you something. I mean, although understand that Jesus goes to everybody who wants to kill him. Understand? That's something that you have to do as well. I mean, if you want to kill me, I mean, guess what? I mean, I come to you, and then guess what happens? I learn something from it. I mean, that's what Jesus Christ is saying. Make sure you understand that no matter what, that I'm always contradicting what I say. So sometimes I may go one way, but then I relate it to Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ says it's this way. Understand? So information goes everywhere, but what you need to do is believe in yourself the most. Understand? If you believe in yourself, that's the 10 Commandments of God. That's what the word I is. Now, that's you going against the grain of everybody else and questioning everything else. Now, if you want to understand that if you ask less questions in life, I mean, just increase your I. I mean, the I is much better than a question. So if I understand that I want to ask you, how's your day? I understand already, although that I see how your day is already. I mean, now I never even have to ask you a question anymore. I can see how your day is. Understand? I mean, the sense to eliminate the questions in your life, but go and use the word I, because I can see already how your day is. I'm using the word I here to never ask the question about your life in terms of how are you, but increase the word I. And now, if I want to ask you, where did you go? I understand that I can say for myself, I can see where you went already. I can see where you're going already. I mean, how? I mean, if you went to the sports star shop, I mean, I can ask you, where'd you go? I mean, I'm never that stupid, though. Understand? I'm never stupid. I can see where you're going. I can see your status. I can see who you are. I can see where you're living. I can see your money in the bank. I can see where you're going. I can see it straight away. I can see your habits. I can see what you watch on channel. I can see what you're watching on television. I can see your social status. I can see what you're wearing. I can see how poor you are. I can see how rich you are. I can see your mentals as well. I see where you're going, man. I mean, who cares about the sports star shop? Understand? I can see where you're going already. I mean, so no matter what, I mean, try to eliminate the questions while you're also trying to make more sense to understand exactly what the question is already that you're trying to ask. I mean, try to solve the question yourself before you even ask it, is what I'm saying. I mean, if I want to ask you to marry me, I mean, guess what? I can say, hey, I'm already who I am. I mean, I'm already married myself. I mean, if you want to marry me, you can marry me. I mean, why don't you ask me to marry me? And then tell me, why do I have to ask you? I mean, you want to marry me? I have more money than you. I have more success than you. I have a limo. I drive with a limo around. I go around the world. I'm a public speaker. I'm richer than you. I'm richer than your whole family. I mean, you want me to ask you out for dinner? I mean, you want me to ask you to marry me? I mean, you come from a poor background. I mean, people have less than $1 million. I mean, you come from a family who has less than $1 million, and you want me to ask your daughter to marry me? I mean, why doesn't your daughter ask me to marry her? I mean, do you understand? I mean, makes some more sense. I mean, if I find a woman where I'm really, really, let's say, lucky to have her in my life, I mean, I just go up to her and I just say, hey, I mean, this is my status. I mean, this is my business card, but guess what? I came here to give you my business card and to show my face because I want to show you a drink. I want to go and take you around some places. I mean, do you want to come in my Mercedes Benz? I mean, do you understand? I mean, I can say that. I mean, she just falls in love, doesn't she? And then that's simple. Which now, guess what? I mean, that's how simple it is when you're communicating better. I mean, when you're communicating better, you have the money, you have the riches, you have the Mercedes Benz, you have the motorbike, you have the real estate, you have the famous attitude, you have the attitude of gratitude, you have also the Jesus Christ attitude. I mean, you have all these nice, beautiful theories going for you. I mean, you have the beard. I mean, you have the boobs. I mean, you have the muscles. I mean, whatever it is. I mean, you have the confidence to be able to talk like that. I mean, so no matter what, you live in rich areas. I mean, you're able to travel. I mean, your status is for itself, but she's famous. I mean, he's famous too. I mean, they're a sports star. I mean, maybe they're an actor, but you just go and approach them. I mean, you see them signing autographs in Chicago, but you're going to go to Chicago because you're going to get her autograph, or you're going to get his autograph, but then you're going to drop a business card and you're going to say, hey, I want you to come with me for some dinner because this is my status. I mean, this is who I am. I understand, although I want to talk to you a bit, I want to understand you much more personally. I mean, what do you say? I mean, understand? I mean, this is who I am. I mean, do you accept me or not? I mean, this is my background. I mean, this is how many followers I have. I mean, this is my success. I mean, this is how much money I have. I mean, show them all. I mean, show them how much money you have. I mean, show them your bank account too. To say, I mean, show the woman or the man how much money you have as well, so that they can say yes to you. I mean, understand? I mean, this is where, I mean, I was just with Arnold Schwarzenegger here. I was just with Eddie Murphy over here. I was just over here. I mean, you understand? I mean, show them some success so that they can say yes. I mean, that's how you convince people of you. I understand? I mean, if she's famous, I mean, imagine a famous person in your life who you want to be with for the rest of your life. I mean, who is it? I mean, understand? I mean, go up to them if they're single. I understand? So, as long as you're famous and you have more success than her or him, I mean, they'll say yes. Unfortunately, that's how simple it is. Unfortunately, otherwise, there's many average men and average women looking to be with you. I mean, just take them for a drink. I mean, go to anybody on the street and say, hey, I mean, come for a drink with me. I mean, this is all my success. I'm so famous. I mean, they'll say yes straight away. I mean, the average woman or man who's never famous will say yes to a famous man or woman. I mean, understand? Because you have all the money. I mean, you have all the success, but they are just poor people. I mean, they'll say yes to you. But isn't it more nicer to go and convince the famous people of your success? Or now, every single day, if you understand that you're going up to Jesus Christ and you say this, I have all this money, man. I have all this success. I want to take you out for a drink. I mean, imagine Jesus Christ. I want to show you my life. I want to show you who I am in life. I want you to say that either way, that this is the funniest aspect of life when you go to Jesus Christ, out of all people, and you say, this is my bank balance. I mean, this is all the food I'll give you. I mean, this is all the nice, beautiful life and I have. I want to show you something on YouTube. I mean, this is everything I ever have in my YouTube. I give it all for God. I mean, understand? I want to make sure every single day I'm focusing on loving God all the time. I'm following the 10 Commandments. I want to take God out for a drink. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, God says, I appreciate you. I mean, I want to come for a drink with you. I understand? I wish, isn't that nice? I wish that's nice, huh? I wish every single day. I mean, that's my dream, to take Jesus Christ a bit for a drink. I mean, go take Jesus Christ out for a drink. I understand? I mean, guess what? I mean, every single day, focus upon loving life. I understand when you love life, I mean, you're going to understand how to really live. And then every single day, I feel Joshua over here. I see Joshua. I see Jesus Christ. I understand that Joshua is Jesus Christ's name. I understand, although that if you go and really understand Jesus Christ, it's actually the word I. And then you understand every single day, I feel a presence of God with me when I say it. Or else when I just said that, I feel this nice, beautiful presence, don't I? Or now every single day, it's much more about the nice, beautiful attitude that you have daily, and then you have to feel strong about who you are. I mean, you have to go and really grow yourself. You have to grow everybody around you, and then focus upon loving your life and just being in a pure bliss with your life to go and succeed, but making sure you have a nice, beautiful attitude in the process, and following Jesus Christ all the time and his 10 Commandments, and then understanding, just go and be the best version of yourself all the time, and then focus on lifting people all the time, and then that's it. Unfortunately, what else do you want? I mean, you have to understand all the time to go and use the word I into every single sentence that you make. And as Jesus Christ says, I mean, never cut the word I out. I understand? I mean, I love you. I. I understand? I have a dream. As Martin Luther King Jr. says, now you must have a dream. You must understand that no matter what, that you must have a dream for yourself to grow. I mean, every single day grow and expand people's mindsets. And that's how you become the best version of yourself.